This is a bit different. I'm sure you can hear the plane going overhead, which is not exactly ideal for what I've got planned today. We just got done with one bird watching group. Lovely people, fantastic time. It's great. I'm going to do a little something on my own. I got a bit of time before I really need to head home. So I came back to a regular spot for a pond. There's not going to be too much video for this because I didn't bring anything besides, I'm not even going to take a camera, which is the weird part. I'll have my phone. But I'm trying to focus on something different that I haven't been focused on for most of this time. And that is, I want to listen and identify birds. I'll take binoculars so I can see. I want to do the audio. I need to get better at the calls of the birds. So I built this, which is a little rig with my Zoom recorder that I'm not using at home for video game recording anymore. I have a different one, and this was just as a backup, and I went, cool, I have never once needed the backup in over a year. I'm glad I have it. I've got a different backup now. It'll be fine. So for this, I would love to have a shotgun mic at some point. That would be much better as something super directional, and I can get a different attachment. This just has the mics that are detachable from the front. It's not going to be great, but it's going to be something. And then I can record it, and I can have it run a line out and into my phone so that I can use my other phone as a backup directly for Merlin, which will help me identify the birds. And then I'll be able to start doing the audio. And this all came about because as I was designing and building what I talked about recently, the bird tracking software that I built so that I have my own personal list that is better than a spreadsheet, and I can put images or video or audio right on there. So I will be doing that, which required me to go, well, you know, a lot of people that I've met who do this are really, really good at being able to identify just from the calls. And besides a couple of the really more regular ones, I'm not so good at that. So I'm going to try to get better at that. And this is how I'm going to do it. It's a nice, easy way to just go out. I can be mostly one-handed for the whole thing here because I built everything to kind of go right on here and be stabilized so that the wobbling doesn't come across. It doesn't ruin the audio, which was one of the only other times I ever did audio recording only. And that was the focus was back, I looked it up, it was like 2021, I think maybe, or 22, but it was a Thanksgiving holiday break. And I went, I've got 3 days off and I'm going to go out 3 days in a row, which was different. And I don't usually do multiple days in a row so I can take time off. But I did photos one day, audio another day, and video another day in whatever order I did it in. I don't exactly remember. But the audio was basically unusable because I didn't have headphones, which was very foolish of me. I brought a pair of headphones and I figured open back would work the best so that I can still hear everything around. So I brought these, which I was using for something else. And now they are dedicated for bird watching, and that'll be fine. But yeah, shotgun mic is useful. Having a shock mount even more useful because of the vibrations of holding something. It is very difficult to get good quality stuff while you are holding something because every little bump, every little scratch, cable, move, everything gets picked up by it. So thankfully just having the record, I'll only record once. Like the idea is I'm hearing something, Merlin's detecting it, confirm it there, make sure, then I can record it. And the only thing I don't have is a way to specifically identify for when I get home to make it easier for editing. And the best I've come up with so far is being like, recording. And I get done. And right before I stop, I go, that one there was a robin. And then I can stop. And that way I can hear it back in the record. I don't know. I need something better so I'm not whispering to this thing throughout the whole time. But yeah. That way I can help me identify and make the editing easier. That's my plan. That's what I'm going to go do. I'm going to go listen to some birds. That's all I really got today was just the idea of this. If it goes really well, maybe I'll be playing some audio afterwards for this, but I have no idea. I've never done this, and this is simply kind of a test to see. And then hopefully at some point get a shotgun mic for this. But there we go. That's my plan. Probably unsurprisingly, I'm sold. Can I get this thing where it's not? That's better. It's on an angle. That's better. Not directly in the sunlight. Yeah, I'm sold. I'm happy. This is great. Just, yes. In so many ways, yes. I realize that I have... What have I done? I managed to force myself in a way to ignore a huge part of identifying birds, which is by their song, for so long by going, well, I'll get to it, I'll learn it, it'll take time, I'll get there. What I've done now is unlocked a new area of this hobby for me. Because now it's fresh. Now I'm really paying attention. When that's all I'm doing out there is simple binoculars and this is great. I'm dropping things. This worked out beautifully. The only thing, and the best way I can equate this, now that I can do this, here, take a look. So, that's the recorder, right? Zoom H6. It's fine. It's not the best. No, the best is irrelevant. It's good. I have used it before for recording. I moved towards recording in other ways. The one that we have for that is better, but it's a lot bigger. This is the portable. Like, I can carry this all day and I'm not going to be tired, which is good. This is the microphone setup attached to it. Two in the XY pattern or something. I don't remember exactly, but they're detachable, as you just saw as I hit my steering wheel with them. They come off. And this was fine. This worked. But, as I mentioned before, there are other options that cost a bit of money, because of course they do. Why wouldn't they? Everything does. But I think the best way I can equate this is that we've gone out and we've done this, and this worked pretty well. It does a really wide area, because that's what they're literally two microphones pointing in opposite directions in order to capture the sound of everything. That is like when I first started doing photography and I went out with maybe not quite a kit lens, but close enough to something very wide, which is cool. But if you want a very detailed picture of a bird, you need a telephoto. And if you want to get clear audio of, and kind of isolate that bird as opposed to getting all the birds that are currently around, you need a shotgun mic. And I know this. And like I said, when I set this up and I tried it out at home, I was trying it with a shotgun mic that I have that is powered by itself. And I was trying to figure out how to build this whole thing. It's got a battery built into it. I've used it before, but it is not good, especially not for bird songs. It is just not really functional, basically, almost. And I tried it. I was like, this is actually better quality than that other one. It can work for vlog stuff. It's fine. I still can use it for other things, but it will not work for the purposes of what we were doing. And so, as a test theory, came out and did that setup with those onboard mics. And that worked out fine. I'm already looking to buy a shotgun mic. They make them that attach, and that's easier because then it's balanced already on there, and I don't have to worry about trying to add on another thing that, balancing it in a different way of putting a different shotgun mic and then rearranging the mount for it and putting it. I have to be careful with the phone can cause interference. I turned it to airplane mode and it worked much better. Like, there wasn't any interference after that point. So, I could do that, and I think the best truly the best is to buy not a Zoom recorder at all, because they're kind of noisy. There is such a thing as self-noise. This is what I've learned so far. I know that, the mic itself and its preamps and things like that, I really don't know much about audio, but I do know enough about, that's why I have the other recorder that I have that is much better. There is another that is hands down apparently the best, but it is discontinued. It was the one with the lowest possible self-noise, which is basically how much noise it will introduce, which is just hiss and things like that, into the audio recording when you turn up the gain a certain amount. And you do need a certain, the more sensitive you make a microphone to audio, I think. I am by far not an expert on this. This is the least I know about recording, is with audio. But I'm doing it, and I'm going to learn how to do this better. I know that there's a Sony one that's been discontinued. The used ones go for $1,000 on eBay. I considered that and went, no, that's just not going to work for me. I can't, because it doesn't have time code. Time code is when they do the slate for movies, and it has a readout of that. It's a synchronized time that's this many hours, minutes, seconds, milliseconds, maybe even further down than that. I don't know exactly, but that's the way everything is in sync. That's what I do when I come out with the video. The video stuff is recording, I have the audio stuff going, and they're all synced for the time code, and the Sony one did not have time code. That was the deal breaker for me, was like, I am using it not just to record out on my own like I did today, but I'm doing that specifically to sync to video, so time code is a necessity, and having that synced is absolutely vital. So that's why we have the recorder that I do have, but again, bigger, bulkier, not as easily held and moved around and things like that. That would be the one where I would wear it on a pouch, and I would instead have a shotgun mic on an arm, which maybe I'll get to that at some point, but I think for now the budget is basically zero for budgetary reasons. Financial reasons leave me with zero money to play for this kind of stuff. That being said, I might just pull from savings or something, because I was looking and I think I can get one for around $100 used, the shotgun mic attachment, which would be an improvement over that for sure. I just have to figure out, because there are two different versions. I started looking it up while there were no birds and there were planes. I picked the worst place to go at the worst time of day, because it's just prop planes the entire time. But in between them, we still, I had some audio recordings. Will any of them come out? I don't know. If they do, I will put them at the end. We will see. But that is my plan. I am going to research the two different shotgun mic options, do that, and then here's another way I can get out and enjoy birds, and then start capturing yet again and start over, because we got a lot of the basic ones. I can't even tell you what was on the list, because the list is currently recording. I literally didn't bring any other camera or anything, so it's on there. But I know we got geese. Best quality? No, not at all. Again, noisy, had to go in between people talking and in between planes flying overhead, and then the general urban environment of there, and it's just not going to be as close as I think a shotgun mic will really allow us to narrow down the sound and isolate it. And that's why we're going to get one. So I will be doing this more, especially on days where I go, boy, I don't even want to carry a camera around. Or maybe I already did the camera part. And this came from, the need to do audio, from the fact that obviously video requires it, and I want to be able to identify birds, and that's very clearly a good portion of this, is just being able to hear it. The book I'm reading talks about that you can do so much with just hearing it once you learn to identify them, so I need to improve that within myself, of practicing that. And when I came out the last time a few weeks ago on my own, where I just needed a day, and I went out with the camera and I did that, and so when I wasn't actively on eBird tracking, putting them in there, and I was just walking around, I just on my phone had Merlin going, and it was like this and this and this and this, like far more than I think actually were there. Even today it popped up with, a snow bunting, and I went, I don't think so, because it did it for a half a second. It's guessing. It's doing the best it can with the suggestions. It will get better as the technology improves and they do that. I don't know how long it's been around, but it does get that wrong occasionally, just like we get wrong, what birds. They're so very difficult to tell what they are. But anyway. And then you get the ones that will mock other birds. Those can really throw it off, because if they do a really good job mocking it, and Merlin doesn't know what it is, then it's pretty good. I'm happy. I have now opened up another avenue of exploring birds. Now there's even more. We'll do audio related stuff. Boy, I need more time to go out and do this, don't I? That's the big thing. Well, good time. Bye, everybody. Oh, and a note for future Michael, just whenever you do anything from now on, when you go to leave the house and you're like, all right, wallet, keys, phone, grab a lav mic, grab a wireless lav mic that I can just throw on here so I'm not just echoing throughout the whole car. Would be super better. You even bought one and just leave it at home. Why? Bring it. Thank you.